Welcome back, BOPIS fans. Bill Gillespie here with IBM. Today I have Jean-Michel Falley along with Lance Tyson, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this concept of BOPIS and how you make money and how you get started.
One of the things that Bill, Lance, and I really feel strongly about is that this has a strong customer experience impact as well as a very strong operational. We talked last time about how this is something customers want, and they certainly have an expectation around what that experience should look like. Also, it can be margin dilutive if it's not done right.
When you switch from being a brick and mortar retailer to a pure play online overnight, especially now that we've got not only COVID, but we have other things that are starting to shut stores down. Having the ability to control your capacity at node level or at the store or location level, it's critical in this time frame because it's very hard to predict when and where stores are going to be open.
Even outside of COVID, I would argue there are ways that you can better forecast demand using unstructured data, which we've seen a lot during COVID. But once the dust settles, I think there's still a lot of improvements to actually get local demand within grocery, which is the first step, right? If you don't have the product, you can't sell it, whether it's in the store or BOPIS.
Going back to your point around the cost of fulfillment, when you're doing these operations at the store level, the cost to pick an order can increase dramatically. So being smarter about the process, being smarter about how you utilize the workforce and how you turn the workforce to an e-commerce fulfillment unit pretty quickly is critically important right now too.
I think from that perspective, you're absolutely right. Not only is it important to have the product there, but it's also important to be able to staff it right, because this is not something that's embedded in your typical work hours. So you have to gauge what staff you have to be able to deliver a good experience.
What's one key area that a retailer could focus on right now to improve profitability with BOPIS?
One, on the technology side, at the initial point of contact when the customer is ordering, to be able to have an availability to promise that's actually accurate so that you don't disappoint by saying you have something and then end up at the store and then not getting it. It's a lot more difficult than people think. From a process perspective, you know that there are some items that are very often ordered. Making sure that you have those items either in a separate location within the store or within a section in the store that's actually very clearly delineated to be able to pick faster. That's really important because you can save a lot of your pickup time. And then the third thing is dedicating the hours, making sure that you train the associates properly on BOPIS. It is an interaction with the customer. And so being able to provide them with an opportunity to sell is an opportunity for them to grow in their role.
Tell us how a retailer can get started with optimizing the BOPIS process.
What we're seeing a lot of right now is folks are jumping right into the tactical. They're saying, well, it's got to be curbside. Let me start looking for a platform. I think what we really have to do as an organization is settle on the strategy. What sort of interaction do we want to create? And we've got some methods now to be able to lead your teams through those kinds of workshops virtually. So we don't have to be in your building. We don't have to be on site. We can start to work through that strategy work virtually using a lot of tools that we use here in-house. Once we've got the strategy, then we've got to build the solution around inventory visibility, and we've got to build the solution around enabling store associates to really act as an e-commerce fulfillment board. And that starts with a blueprinting process. Then we put that into a minimum viable product, and we can start rolling it out to stores.
How long would it take to get what you described going?
In simplest forms, we can stand things up in 4 to 6 weeks. More complex forms, it might take a little bit longer. We have people at the ready to conduct these strategy workshops right here, right now. So if you have a team that wants to engage, we have teams that can engage with you on that.
Thanks, Lance Tyson and Jean-Michel Falley. This was our second episode of BOPIS, How to Make Money at It. We'll be returning next week with episode 3. Until then, have a great day.